so 20 seasons in.
Yes.
Did you ever anticipate that?
No, honestly, I was so naive when the show started. I didn't know anything about television, but I thought the show would probably be on for 3 seasons and then we'd be done. And I was delighted with that, the thought of doing 3 of these.
Now, a lot has to do, I think, with the casting of this show, because these characters are so interesting to watch and captivating. And 19 seasons in, you find somebody like Russell. Kind of discuss the casting process and how you find these people.
Well, we have Lynn Spillman as our casting director, and she's arguably the very best there is. It's one of the categories in the Emmys that I would love for them to recognize, because reality is what it is because of the people who cast these shows. And the casting process is anywhere, anytime, you might find somebody that you think is right for the show. And if so, you hand them a card and say, call me if you're interested. In addition to that, we have people who apply every year. Lots of times they're the same people that are trying to figure us out and what we want. Sometimes out of the blue, somebody new will say, you know what, I just decided it's my time, and they're fantastic. Russell Hands, he said, I was watching in Gabon, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to be on this show.
Right.
And when you see a guy like Russell, he walks in the door and you go, all right, he's 4'5", he looks like a gnome, he's missing a tooth. And then he starts talking, and it's like you're wetting your pants wanting to shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Coach.
Yeah. Coach walks in the door, he's on the show.
Right. So, explain this whole Natalie thing. How does Natalie win Survivor against somebody like Russell?
Natalie, I have to say, I feel for Natalie, because she's taking some heat when she doesn't deserve the heat. Who deserves the heat is the jury. But the way Natalie wins is by people voting against her opponent,
right.
Russell. Mick didn't have a chance.
Right.
And so it was Russell or Natalie. And, everybody's got an opinion, and you can certainly make the argument that Survivor's a social game, and if you don't figure out how to play the social aspect, you don't deserve to win. I would say to a point that's true, and then there's a point in which I so thoroughly dominated the game that to not give me the money is insulting to the game.
Right.
And I reckon that jury, in years to come, will watch this with their kids, and their kids will say, Daddy, how come the woman with blonde hair won and not the crazy guy? And they'll say, because I screwed up,
right.
Son. I voted for the wrong person. Thank you.
Now, have you relished one particular torch snuffing more than any other? Is there somebody
No, it's funny you say that. Yeah, if there was anyone that... Well, let me say, I really don't relish them, because typically speaking, everybody is out there trying their best.
Right.
And I feel for them when they get voted out. It sucks. It's being told we don't want you around.
Right.
The one person that I didn't have any emotion about was Fair Play in Fans vs. Favorites. And all I thought was, get out and get away. We screwed up.
I agree.
We shouldn't have taken him. But we made the call. How can you not have him on? And he showed us why we should never use him again. He's a quitter. And if we ever do Survivor versus Survivor quitter, well, I won't be here if we do that show. But he'll be the first one on, because he is now the poster boy for quit.
But you gave him a hug.
With Fair Play, you go with the flow. I could have Danny Bonaducci'd him. That's not
right,
me.
Right. So what can we expect from Heroes and Villains?
Pretty intense rivalry, because the minute we told the villains, you're the villains, they got a chip on their shoulder.
Mm.
And there was a feeling of, so the heroes are the popular ones, huh? And we're not? Okay, fine. Then let's get this on.
Right.
And Russell and Boston Rob and Coach and all those guys thought, fine, you're the pretty boys, and we're not. We're going to kick your ass.
How much longer do you think Survivor's going to go? Okay.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I have to say our ratings went up a little in Samoa, so it still seems to be going strong, and as long as we keep casting it well,